Hello friends, welcome back to the channel TechWizLab. Yesterday in our first video, we gave you an idea and overview about the statistics. What are the basic branches of statistics, how it is very much important in making the data-driven decisions, and how it is actually a basic unit or a basic building block for your entire machine learning or the deep learning or the AI uh, things. Correct? So today we are going to start the very basic things from the statistics. The core of statistics is actually the data. Today we'll try and understand what are the different types of data, what is population, what is sample. So these things are very much basic of any statistics. So get ready and let's go to the whiteboard to try it out. I hope you guys are able to see my whiteboard. So let's start with the data. So when we say data, there are mostly two types of data we talk about. So broadly, we can say that there are two types of data. One is numerical and another one is categorical. Now, as the name suggests, it gives you an idea that numerical means numbers. So suppose like I have 5 cars, I study in 8th class, my age is 20. There are several things, correct? Your age, the number of people, and whatever thing where you feel the numbers. Okay. But the data is not only involve always the numbers. There are many times we would be talking about the cars, mobile phones, and suppose like if we are talking about mobile phone, then again we are going and talking about the operating systems. So operating systems are like iOS, Android, and Linux based many other versions, or maybe the Windows mobile operating system. So now if you think about it, they are the kind of categories, correct? Similarly, if we talk about the cars, so cars also falls into the kind of the category. Like we have the Maruti Suzuki car, it's a Mercedes, it's a BMW, Audi, Honda, Hyundai, etc. etc. Now, if you see, we cannot give them the number, correct? So basically, there are two broad types of data category. One is the numerical, which consists of numbers, and second is the categorical. Now, within the number, again, there are the two kind of categories. One is the discrete number, and another one is the continuous number. Now, what do you mean by the discrete number, and what do you mean by the continuous number? So, try and thinking about. So, suppose we can measure the temperature, and temperature can be measured in the fraction number. When we say fraction number, means the 37.5 degrees centigrade, 37.55 degrees centigrade, 37.8 degrees centigrade, and even 38 degrees centigrade. So either a whole number or the fraction number. All kind of numbers are involved. If we talk about the continuous, it's basically minus infinity to infinity and considering the p by q form, like a fractional number is included in this. Whereas if we go about the discrete, it's always talking about the whole number. When we say whole number means, you can consider the basic example of the number of child. So number of child will be either 1 or 2. There can't be the 1.1 or 1.2 or 1.3. Correct? So either the number will be discrete or it will be the continuous. Okay. Now coming to the categorical. Now category where like already we are talking about the kind of like color of balls, the car, make and manufacturers and all such kind of things. But still category has the two different kind of further differentiation between the data. One is the ordered, another one is the non-ordered. Now, what do you mean by the ordered and non-ordered? So suppose if I say like I have the three different color of balls. So we have the red, we have the green, we have the blue. But do you see any order in this? No. Right? So they fall, such kind of categorical data falls like red, green, and blue in non-orderical categorical data. But if you see, whenever we go to restaurant and the person asks us about the rating, so maybe they are asking the rating about like good, okay, or bad. Now we know, even though they are a order, they don't have any number associated with that, but they definitely comes within an order. Okay, so good is always greater than okay, and okay is always greater than the bad. So in such a way, like they have an order associated with that. Similarly, if you give an example of non-order again, so male and female, so we cannot give anyone a more priority, correct? Both are equal. So those kind of thing will always come under the non-order, whereas order is good, okay, bad. Okay, so these are the basic types of data. Now, as we have studied about the data, we'll switch to the concept of the population and the sample. Okay. Now, when we say in statistics, there are two broad terms, and many of the formula will be changed based on the what is your data you are working upon. So, one word is population, and we drive a sample out of. Now, what do you mean by the population? Suppose we are studying that in your city, what kind of or what make or manufacturer's car each and every person is having. Okay. Now, when we say each and every person, it means like we are going to take the record of each and every person who is having a car in your city. So there may be the n number of people. Okay. So that entire population is called actually population. Now, it's a very huge data. It's idealistically we should work upon that, but in reality, it includes so much cost, and there are the various other reasons that doing some sort of studies on the population is not feasible. So, what we can do? We can select a few people from few areas which represents the entire city. That number of people or the set of data is called the sample. So we'll take an example of all this kind of data now. Okay. So suppose we want to see that what is the number of kids every home has. Okay. So we'll have to go and talk to each and every family in the city, and then we'll be collecting the record of the number of students or number of child they have. So either that's a kind of a discrete numerical data, but still you see that it's very difficult to go and collect the record of each and every person. It means population is very difficult. What we can do is we can make a certain groups of the city, and from every group we can select some uh, random home, and we can go and we can talk to those families, and we can ask that how many number of kids they have, and this is that we can collect a sample of data. Similarly, if we talk about the count, and suppose we are talking about the heights in centimeter for each and every boy candidate or every girl candidate, so that thing can be done. Similarly, if we go for the non-ordinal, we can go and find out like each and every family how many like male kids they have and how many female kids they have. So that falls under a kind of a non-ordinal data. Coming to the ordinal data, so suppose like government has passed a policy and we are going and asking them to the rating, like do you like this new policy? Is it okay? Or you don't like this policy? So that's how all these four kind of data can come to the role where we need to study about them. But studying this kind of phenomena onto the population is very much difficult, and that's where the sample comes in. And there are the various ways of doing the sampling. There are the ways of calculating the random sampling or based on the like normalization of the data, and there are the formulas also that how we should calculate the sample size. Correct. So in coming videos, we'll be studying more about that, how we calculate the sample, and then we'll go for to the central tendency theorem, like mean, median, and mode, and how to start using that, which one is important, which one is not that important, and how their combinations helps us actually in driving the statistical information. So this is what is the basic essence of the very basic building block, and will be utilizing this entire thing throughout our course. Because like even when we'll be jumping to the machine learning part, we'll be directly saying that look, this is a categorical, and as it's uh, ordinal categorical, we'll be using this method. If it's a categorical and non-ordinal method, we'll be using this X method. And if this is falling to the numerical method, if it's the discrete, then it will go to the kind of a classification or the clustering. If it is continuous, we'll go for the regression, something like that. So these words may be new or maybe difficult for you to understand right now if you are a very beginner. But just uh, I just gave you a glimpse that this is what is the basic essence. So understanding data is very much important before starting the study about the data. Correct? So in next video, we'll be discussing more about the population part, sample part, and how the formulas are defined for the population and the sample. Even though in practical life we don't work upon the population, we always draw a sample and work onto the sample subset. But we'll be seeing that how their formulas are different and why they are different. So I hope you like today's video. If you like it, please like, share, subscribe, and also share with your friends, your colleagues who are eager to learn about this statistics and to the machine learning part. And if you have any suggestion about this video, whether it's the recording quality or anything else you want us to change, please feel free to comment. We'll be keep improving with the time. Thank you so much.